My bad. I didn't stop you. I stopped the recording. Um.
Huh.
Oh, it's wanting me to share my screen. You can just end it. How do you end it?
Stop
Stop.
sharing.
Okay, got it. I fixed it. All right. So you guys can put your cameras if you can. Let's look at each other's beautiful faces and hear from Mr. Chris. Joanny, how about it? I know you have questions. Thank you for rejoining. Before you sounded like an
Oh my
alien, and I'm
God.
sorry.
I
Sorry.
was living Milford, and Milford is a little woody place, and I think that was the reason why I didn't have good signal. And I'm now in Manchester, which is the city, so now this is much better. But questions, I don't know. I guess I understand everybody has their own way of studying, and I've seen every, few of you guys how you've done it. Like in my case, I haven't had the chance to kind of like dig in the way I wanted it, the way I'm used to study, the way that I know it works for me. Because lately it's chaos around me, and I need peace of mind to be able to do things. And so I'm trying to figure it out. Way, but all the things that you guys are saying are awesome because it's kind of like that. And it's like we all somehow overlap in many of the areas of the things we do, and then some of us go the extra mile, and maybe some of us are lacking something. But I think he has done it a very good way, which is admirable.
And you only watch half of the presentation. Wait
I
until you
know.
see
Please
the
tell it to
upload.
me.
I'm going to upload it. That's for sure. But yeah. So, so Johnny, I relate to you. Chris, you have any feedback? What?
No, it worked for me because I know how I work, and just consistency is key for me. Like if I'm consistent, even if I get in like 30 minutes one day, as long as I get something in, because like I need to stay in that mindset, every day do a little bit, and then eventually it adds up to something very big.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I am like you in that sense too. But I think to me, and the guys know here, my husband was out of the Philippines since January. He just came back in May, and I have two kids to take care, and then it was done, and it was all the winter stuff that happened with the kids back and forth, and then it's like every time that I feel like it's finally the time for me to sit down and do it correctly, and then have peace of mind so I can concentrate. At least for me, as a second language, like I need no noise. I need to be quiet. I usually study when everybody goes to sleep. That's my time to shine. Like I can concentrate and digest information, and it never happens. And when it happens, I'm so tired that I can't study. So to me, it has been difficult for because of that. And I'm trying to find my time to start, but I know it's exactly what you're saying. As long as you get a piece. And I usually do it with a friend of mine, in my work. We usually set up time to study with each other after work, and it's only us and talking in the screens, and then we do it like 3 hours, and we do it together. We go over practice tests and go over the results, and then talk to each other. And usually we even take the test together. And when you were saying about celebrating, that's something we do. I always say to him, I don't care what will happen. If I pass or you pass or we both fail, we're going out to eat something because we should go in the morning, and then have a drink.
Mm.
Because at the end of the day, we have to celebrate for our effort. We try it. It's not in our, well, of course, it will happen if it needs to happen. But yeah, I think the consistency is the thing. It's lately very difficult for me to find that.
Now, Johnny, in my opinion, right? So you've already actually identified a lot of the roadblocks to why you can't study. You've already identified your perfect time, which is not because you're too tired at that time, but like at night when there's quiet, you need
Mm-hmm.
peace. So I think that like just like Chris did for himself, you sitting down on a little pad and writing a plan of attack and saying, my time to shine is X to X.
Mm-hmm.
Husband, can we work on these 3 days? Let's compromise on these 3 days. You know what? I think if I do 3 days of these, I'm able to
Mm-hmm.
succeed at this.
Oh, and he's awesome at that. And
I know
I
he
try
is. I love the guy too. He's
and
like
and
amazing.
and I
I know
told
him.
him and I told him the same thing. So poor thing, since he came from Philippines, he's been working his ass off because in another property that we have, the people who we were renting the apartment basically trashed it out. You know what that means, Darwin?
Yeah, no, no.
They trashed out the place, and who is doing the work? We are. And so he's been working his ass off since he came in end of May. Literally has been days, let's put it that way. And it's it's insane. You know what I mean? Like He doesn't have a break. I don't have a break, and I feel like I want something to end. But he already knows. I told him I have to study. He has to study too. He has tests to take and stuff. But I love to hear you guys because I can tell that when I start doing it, it will work. It's just
So yeah, so
like
craft that plan, but also you know, I don't I really need to stress this over and over. Chris knows himself. He knows what works for him. He knows his process. He knows what doesn't work for him. He stuck to what worked. No matter what he promised, the process promised that it will eventually work. Right. And if he then, after a certain amount of trials, I know he would say, let me do what I did for the first round again. Like rethink this thing and recalibrate and see what it is. This is the food, is what is it? But he already has a map and he can actually identify from the map what elements need to be shifted. So that's very
wow.
important. I think that like we don't spend enough time getting to know who we are and what we like. And this is not an existential kind of class. This is not anything about that.
Yeah.
But I think that we like I immerse myself into architecture so much that I have not been able to well after all of it. Now looking back, I know what I like. I know a lot of things, but I didn't have a chance to actually think through what I love most, what I don't. But then also remembering, Joanny, that the process that you work best was something you learned. Okay, so
Mhm.
so if you like
No,
nighttime,
exactly.
you learned that. By the way, I have a process of how I design, and it's the process in which I did my work back in the Dominican Republic, here at school, and I have not been able to design a flow like that. It's really not a process that's why I don't
Fits
design.
you anymore? What
Quite
fits
frank,
you
quite,
anymore?
quite frankly, I can't do it. I can't do it. My phone rings way too much. I got way too many
Exactly.
responsibilities.
Too much
Right now,
interruptions.
my process of designing, it would actually mean I would have to design outside of flow. Like it would actually be at home, work at home, have my desk at home, because it's a very individualistic way and it's a very almost lonely way. But that's how we learn. Like that's how I
Uh,
learn
let,
how to work.
let me test something and see if you guys are the same way. And I don't know if this is just me. So I know myself very well, and the things that work for me. When you were talking about iterations of like the way Chris does it, I applaud that because I'm a critical person with my everyday moves. My everyday moves is gonna be analyzed, and everything that I felt that didn't work needs to be corrected the next day if I can. You know what I mean? Like if I did something wrong, I was like, "What the heck happened this day? What happened in that meeting? You know what I mean? What did I did wrong?" I am a critical person, at least with myself, and I try to correct that and iterate that, and then and make that better. And I usually do that all the time. Um, I also know, like right now, I'm worried about taking the test, but not worry because I'm not going to pass it, but more because I have my own set up goal that I don't wanna make myself, how do you say that? Like como traicionarme a mí misma. Yo me puse una meta. I'm sorry, I went to switch to Spanish. I put a deadline, a goal to myself, and I trying to be true to my goal. I
You
want to
don't want to
respect.
shit
No,
yourself
I
in
want
the
I
goal,
want
right?
exactly. I don't want to shit myself. I respect myself and my goals because that's also part of recognizing your, the abilities you have in life to go through with your decisions. So it's not like I know when I need to be terrifying because I already lost. I am already like, no, 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 where I am versus when I know when I started, I'm going to handle it and I'm gonna be fine. I am there. I'm just more worried about me, no going through my war to myself versus me going to fail and I'm going to be like, I don't know where I am. You know what I mean? So that's the way I am. And then I can tell that I feel quiet inside. I say like, as soon as I departure, I'm gonna get there, but at the same time is passing and my goal is like flowing away. So I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I know
No, no,
when I
no,
need to
no,
be
don't feel
terrified.
don't feel like your goal is going away. Again, I guess looking at Chris's process helps you. Again, just one thing. Let's do a little debugging of the operating system right now. So the operating system that you come from, which is similar to mine, has a lot of
Hmm.
baggage. Oh, everybody already, when I went to school in the Dominican Republic, probably already finished. I am behind. I am no, 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 no. You're not behind. You are where you are supposed to be.
Hmm.
Reset and move forward. Period.
Hmm.
That's it. Don't like
Oh, I did that
overwhelm
long
yourself.
ago.
No, but literally don't over, but you think you did a clean out, but sometimes there's still, even when you delete on a computer, there's actually a software that helps you find that you never really deleted it. So there's the hard drive's still full, so you got to reset and say, one, I don't think you compare yourself too much with others, at least not like consciously, but subconsciously maybe you do, and say, this is my process, this is what I'm gonna do. You know what, like one exam. All right, so we work with so many projects here, and one of my top designer, Julio, says one project at a time, one deadline at a time. That's the way we're going to do. We have right now almost 300 projects. We're gonna hit the 300 this year. So one at a time. We lost some people. We're crazy chaos, extended deadlines, one project at a time. So just give yourself one goal at a time and go one by one.
Is to pass the test.
But break it down into little steps. So to pass the test, you gotta be able to study what and how many hours and how are you gonna do it, right? So, and what are the ways you're gonna do it? So there's a lot there. Tafa, I haven't heard much from you, but you're the newest one here. Tell us a little bit about what do you get from this? Any questions to Chris? How do you feel? She's just getting started, by the way, Chris. Just getting started. She just graduated, so just getting started. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Recent graduate. So I would like to thank Chris and you guys both for these valuable discussions. But I would like to ask Chris, so how helpful did you find Amber books, and what any other like study materials do you recommend to prepare for the exam?
So I started with the ARE bootcamp by Michael Risica, and that was all these study programs are expensive. This one is like a 10-month, I think, 10-month program, and you get coached through. 10-week program. You get coached through the process, and you are told to study the Architectural Handbook of Professional Practice, which is a good book, really good book, especially if you want to start your own practice. You study the contracts. He has a version of the contracts with commentary that he shares with you, so that you understand what everything means, because it's all like legal language. And he shares like YouTube videos, all kinds of resources, readings, and that's what I studied first. After I did that, I did the Amber books, and I studied only the Amber books, and that's all I needed to pass. Only the Amber books, plus the YouTube videos. I did YouTube videos, but that was because I already studied the contracts like crazy. Also, I lastly, with the Amber books, all that I want to add with the Amber books is like, I think it was more successful because I have work experience. So by the time I finished the exams, I had like 5 years work experience, over 5 years of work experience total in the architecture field, from working before my grad school and then after grad school, and then studying at the same time. Like, so this was like so important to to reflect on the Amber books and to understand like what like construction details and stuff, because like if you're doing the Amber books cold without having work experience, you don't, like, nothing you designed was ever built. So like it's really hard to conceptualize like the meaning of like, like footing details, or like, like what it means to like integrate ductwork into trusses or something like that. It's like really hard to visualize unless you've actually done it. So that's all.
Got it. So like for me, if I want to put it into steps, I guess, in order to start, like the ARE book by Michael Resita, as you mentioned, and then like some YouTube practice on YouTube as well, and then the Amber book. Yeah. So to be honest, I don't even know like what is the nature of the exam itself. Is it like multiple choices or like various?
So I think I think what's most important about the exams, like they have different formats, but for the questions, and Micro Risico will tell you, like, if you do that, or like any exam source will tell you, or actually the best way to learn about it is to take the practice exam on NCAR. Like that's the
Okay.
best way.
Mhm.
But the what I also, a big part of the reflection after failing the first exam was that the exam does not test you on your memorization skills. Like what type of brick coursings are there? That's not what the exam's about. Like how many types of arches? That's not what the exam's about. Like they might have like some things like, you know, row lock versus regular, but that's as far as it'll get in detail for like brick coursing. Like it won't have like the different types of windows. Like um the exam is going to be more like challenging questions um like it'll ask you a code question. It'll say something like, you have this much space for a ramp. You need a ramp. You have this much space. So like, how long is the ramp going to be? It'll say,
Mhm.
have something like that. But
It's
you're
like
supposed to
scenarios.
know, yeah, you're supposed to know like how often you have a landing on that ramp. Like it's not
Mhm.
even going to say anything about the ramp. You're going to have to know, like it's like those kinds of, that's why it's hard. It's not hard
Mhm.
because it's like multiple choice or essay questions. It's hard because like they're assuming you know information about codes before you
Mhm.
get a code question, and then you have to automatically know the implications of a scenario based on what's required in a code situation. And the same thing for a construction detail, or the same thing for like, a quality check in a firm if you're doing pro practice.
Mhm.
One thing
No,
I
this
did,
was really helpful.
I share right now 3 links on the group. By the way, Chris also shared his presentation here. I don't know if you were able to see it on the chat. So you can all download that. Now, Chris, maybe I'm gonna probably put you on the spot, but if people want to connect with you in some way, or
Yeah.
take you out to dinner, right, or lunch, hey, free lunch, so you can talk to me more, because I think a lot of people might want to know more, or get a quick phone call, or get in touch with you. Can you put your contact information,
Yeah.
and again,
Yeah,
a
of
little
course.
a little coffee, a little Starbucks gift card doesn't hurt
Yeah.
anybody.
I wish we were in Miami, then we could get coffee and go get this. So,
I know. You probably miss Miami. That's why I lost
oh my God.
Yvonne, because she graduated and she went back to Miami. That's really it. That's really the no. But hey, we're opening Flow Design Miami,
Oh,
so
what?
we're opening Flow Design there. So I guess I'm already
Oh,
trying to
congratulations.
steal you there too. We're gonna need somebody to run that with me. So